Comstrat chief, but he's been in the Marines since 2003. But in 2010, he lost his eyesight due to an injury. And I tell you what, despite losing his eyesight, he never once lost hope. And I want you guys to hear a little bit about his story. So Dorian, thank you for having us, first of all.
Kim.
Yeah, and I want to know a little bit, I mean, tell us your story. Let's go back to 2010. What happened?
So in 2010, I was deployed to Delram, Afghanistan, and in October I was attached to India Battery 312, and we were on a foot patrol in GySgt. And during that patrol, we took contact with the enemy, and while we were engaged, an IED exploded. And the detonation of that IED is eventually what led to me losing my left eye and taking severe damage to my right eye, which left me legally blind.
Wow. And so this happens to you, and you're now legally blind, and your recovery process is probably very long.
About 2.5 years. So I went from Afghanistan to Bethesda, and then I ended up at a VA hospital and eventually checked into Wounded Warrior Detachment San Diego. And during my time, emotional roller coaster, not knowing whether or not my vision was going to come back or get worse or stay the same. But I went through stints of depression and, you know, hopelessness, thinking this is life now as a career Marine. What am I going to do after this?
Right.
And then, you know, there came a time when I was taken out of my dark place and reintroduced to the world through adaptive sports. And it was then that I discovered I can still do things.
Right.
I can still grow and learn new things and compete and contribute and give back.
So after, I mean, all this time, you're in depression, and adaptive sports is what brings you kind of out of it. Was there one sport in particular that really opened your eyes to being like, okay, wait a minute, my life isn't over and there is hope?
I think probably the sport that had the biggest impact was swimming. I was never the best swimmer, but I loved it so much, and I found out I could compete and I could do well. And it's a challenging sport. It's a sport that requires a level of fitness and a level of dedication, practice. You got to put the hours in.
Yeah.
But it's like anything we do. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And being able to go compete at the Warrior Games and Invictus Games, and having my wife and my kids there with me, having my mom and my dad tell me how proud they are, and to see me up there on a podium, you know, years before, seeing me laying down on my back in a hospital bed, it's come back around tenfold. And I can't be more excited to tell people that, you know, regardless of what life throws at you, keep pushing.
Absolutely. And speaking of your wife, can we talk about that love story? Because she was, I love it. She was your physical therapist, right?
She was a physical therapy tech working in the PT clinic at Balboa Hospital, and we met February 2011, and in December 2012 I proposed.
Wow.
I got married in July of 2013.
Look at you flirting with your physical therapist. Good for you. So you're thriving, and I love that. I feel like, you know, adaptive sports is something that you found, and I'm sure that anyone that has been in your position, you were able to just let them know, like, hey, I know where you're at. I know what you're going through, and it's going to be okay.
Absolutely. And I was in that position, and there was a time in my life where I thought it was over.
Yeah.
And coming back from that and being able to look at these young Marines, men and women, who are starting to feel like there's nothing left.
Yeah.
There's always more.
Yeah.
There's still life to live, and if you can still have air in your lungs, go out there and live.
Oh my gosh. I'm so inspired by you. I feel like anyone watching right now would be inspired as well. Thank you so much for letting us come. Thank you for giving the ultimate sacrifice so that I can sit here and have the freedoms that I have. So thank you so much. So all of you veterans out there, anyone who's active military, thank you for everything you guys do. Dorian, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Happy Veterans Day, everyone.
Wow, talk about sacrificing for your country. You know, Dorian is truly an inspiration for all of us.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. He's unbelievable. And now we're heading up to NorCal. Malou is in a tiny town up there that throws the biggest Veterans Day parade in California. Hey, Malou.
Hi.
Hi, Danny and Jess. Happy Veterans Day. We are in Walnut Park in Petaluma. Yes, getting ready for the largest Veterans Day parade north of San Francisco. Things are just getting started. You can see the Sea Cadets